That's where...
It's supposed to be a dead language, right?
Well, that's the base of
It's
most
still
of our
being
language.
practiced, right?
Huh?
Yeah, Latin's being practiced right now.
Where? Yeah.
In English.
Yeah, I mean, most of the words are Latin-based.
What happened before that?
You tell me. I don't know.
Complete silence.
Do you think that a waterfall makes noise when no one's around it?
Describe no one.
No
Is a
human.
waterfall alive?
Is it?
I don't know. To me it is.
It's running.
Energy is coming through and from.
It's made of what? Hydrogen, oxygen, to the second power, is that how it goes?
H2O.
H2O, right. So you can say nobody by the name of H2O is trickling downhill.
What if someone named...
You're made up of molecular structure and compounds, right?
Yes.
But yet people accuse you of substance abuse, right? Impossible. Well, I guess I'll pick up my gas lighter. Which, by the way, has a flint to it.
It needs a spark.
And a
Otherwise
metal
it would just be a
type
gas
of
leak.
metallic wheel. Metallurgy combined with gas. Alchemy, right? Turning lentil, yeah, that's what. Lentil, lead to gold.
Yes.
That's what? Metallurgy. Right? And alchemy is a mixture of what? Chemical compounds and substances, right? Now mixed together in an appropriate fashion would be considered abusive way to make a concoction, right?
Why would it be considered abusive?
That's a good question. It depends on what it's being used for, right? Like an explosive topic, right? IED stands for what? Currently under the terrorist regime that we're supposedly combating. Anybody have any idea?
Something...
An improvised explosive device. Now, notice how it says device. Why didn't it say an improvised explosive vice, for example? That's a divisive topic, isn't it? Now, is a nuclear bomb an improvised explosive vice or a device?
Both.
Exactly. But
It's
yeah,
not really
they'll show
improvised.
you like some type of, suppose I could make a chemical bomb, right, like a Unabomber, right, to supposedly bomb the Oklahoma building, federal government building, right, supposedly. You know why I say supposedly?
Because you don't believe he did it?
Not necessarily, because I only have that information by word of mouth and newspaper print and media. It may not actually have happened.
It's very true.
That's called propaganda.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
we're never guilty of that. Now, who was famous in current, that I think of, most famous that was cited, the Nazis, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Who says?
Or any government, really.
Any government can be responsible for propaganda or atrocities.
Absolutely.
We're all guilty. We're all guilty. We're all guilty.
That's some degree, yeah. Well, you know, that's a good point. Guilty to what degree? Now we're measuring sins by degree, okay?
How can you
Separation
measure-
of church and state, for example. All right? The term guilty versus not guilty. Say guilt, not guilty, it says like you're sinless for that moment. No mistake, whatever, if I say not guilty. Right? Clean. White clean, right? But if I say guilty, that means sinful. Right?
To the highest degree.
To the
But
highest
if you
degree.
say not
But there's
guilty,
a-
you're still kind of implying guilt because you use
right,
the word
fact
guilt
that the word
in
guilt
it. Is in
exists
it.
to begin with.
So
guess
it's
what?
still implying
So now
guilt.
we end up with the nihilism, right? No such thing as right and wrong. How do you describe that? In order to have a difference between those right and wrong, there wouldn't have to be a
You have to
right or wrong
define
to
right
begin
and wrong.
with.
You
Right?
can't really define it
It's
because
all
it's different
relative.
in everyone's eyes.
That's a good question. It's not right or wrong. It's just different. How do you like that? Suppose I came over and I hit you in the mouth.
I mean,
Right?
I'd be pretty upset.
You'd be upset, but why?
Because I'd be...
What if I said your mouth was in the way of my fist and not vice versa? I was aiming for that window, not you.
I mean, it was an accident. I'd still.
But if you just say, if you saw me coming, right, and you failed to duck or raise it, it would look
it
like
would be my fault because I
Maybe.
did not move out of your way.
maybe. You don't have to.
The
do that.
freedom to
But if I
reach out
stated
your arm and
that I was
my
aiming
gaze began.
behind you, right? See what I'm saying?
No, I do.
Yeah. Some people claim now this doorway, right? Now, suppose I came out of there like I did, and I said, "Well, you were blocking the passage unlawfully." Right? I'd be right, wouldn't I? Would I?
You would be right.
But I made it through, so
Yeah.
why wouldn't I be wrong or right? See what I mean?
We were blocking it, but
Well,
you still.
but it wasn't. But I still got through the barrier, or did I?
Because we allowed you.
Who? The lock company, the chair, the person who placed it there. Who's the creator of this metal? The metal people? You ever heard that Judas Priest song, Metal Gods? Dealing with metallurgists now. Robots. Who's in control of the robot? The machine. You ever heard that? You go to an automatic machine to get your money, right? You punch in numbers. But guess what? It says you don't got any money in there. But you know you do according to other documents. What do you do? You automatically assume identity fraud, right? Not necessarily. It could be a breakdown, temporary breakdown in system communication.
Right.
Exactly.
Technology's not perfect.
Pardon me?
Machines aren't perfect.
Right, exactly. Now, first of all, perfection. Does it exist?
No.
Perfection.
Why not?
What is
See?
perfection?
Exactly. Describe perfection. I like to use the term perfectly imperfect. There you go. Or flawlessly flawed. How you like that one? Sounds like oxymoron. But it's like a conclusion.
It makes sense.
It does make a lot of sense. Now, this appears horizontal. I mean, no, this is,
Vertical.
vertical. But what's the difference between vertical and horizontal? If I turn this sideways,
It's horizontal.
but it's still,
It can still be vertical.
Which way's up?
I mean.
Right that way, straight down like that. If I dive head down or head up downward in a downward direction, north might be, you know the compass? Right, north, south, which way is east and west? Either way, right? You start right here and go directly that way, and you go in a circle, right? And a parameter, you'll end right back up where you started from, right? That's assuming you started from that point to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Or that you even existed, for example. See what I mean? You just went that way, and if you went around in a circle, you would come right back to this point in that manner. No north, south, east, and west.
Right.
But we use those markers as references to try to locate where we started and where we ended. You ever heard the term, when you're running from something, you're running right to it? Or when you're moving towards something, you're moving
Away from it.
Oh, now that's a good one. That's a good one. That's like a mirror.
Did you go on a cruise?
What's that say? Royal Caribbean. Not necessarily. Look at the back of the shirt.
Cruising with a twist.
Huh?
Cruising
I was
with-
just reading it.
Cruising with the twist. So we did go
Cruise
cruising.
Edge. Yeah. It's from the 60s, supposedly oldies or whatever. But that would suggest that I wasn't young, or the shirt refers to what? Doesn't it say oldies on there?
It says 50s and 60s night. Cruising with
50s
a
and
twist.
60s. I suppose it was talking about 2150 and 2160 and not 1950 or 1960. Would, see what I mean?
Right.
Right, but yet the vehicle appears to be of an older class, right? The
Yes.
car, the automobile,
Yep.
like a 1950s or 1960s circa dated automobile.
Yes.
But if you found that in the future, if you got an old, brand new, supposedly old item in the future, that means there's new items left in the past as well. There's your time travel trick.
I think you might blow up at Starbucks. We should
No,
leave.
I'm- yeah,
We should go. We should leave.
No, I just like the gash, not the little